The breaking news is about Congress MLAs have started arriving at the PCC office in Jaipur, where a high-level meeting is going to be taking place with envoys sent by Congress's central leadership. Congress leaders and MLAs are going to be meeting central observers KC Venugopal and Ajay Maken. After this meeting, both the central leaders are going to meet Ashok Gehlot to discuss to end Rajasthan Congress crisis. The Congress MLAs have expressed hope of an early solution of the crisis. Meanwhile, you've got pilot camp supporters who are holding protests. They're raising slogans, all of this outside the PCC office. So there is implosion in the Rajasthan Congress. These pilot supporters are seeking plum positions and representations in the state cabinet. And Sachin Pilot, remember, he earlier raised the banner of revolt against being sidelined by the Chief Minister. He is also attending this particular meeting. So that's the latest coming in from the turmoil in Karnataka politics. We are getting you breaking news coming in from Rajasthan at this point of time, where you can see on your screens at the moment live visuals coming in. The Congress MLAs are arriving. If you see, you can see Sachin Pilot on your screens right there too. They've started coming at the PCC office in Jaipur. These are the live visuals we've cut to from Jaipur. This is a high-level meeting that's going to be taking place, which is with envoys that have been sent by Congress's central leadership. The Congress leaders and MLAs are going to be meeting central observers KC Venugopal and Ajay Maken. And the cabinet expansion, remember, is on 28th. We'll get to know what happens in this meeting in a short while from now. But this is the latest coming in. Breaking news coming in. The cabinet expansion on 28th is likely in Rajasthan. Congress MLAs have begun arriving at PCC office in Jaipur. A high-level meeting is going to be taking place with envoys sent by Congress's central leadership. Congress leaders and MLAs are going to be meeting central observers, as I was mentioning earlier, Ajay Maken, KC Venugopal. And after this meeting, both the central leaders will go to meet Ashok Gehlot to discuss to end the Rajasthan Congress crisis. So the central leadership does want this implosion in Rajasthan Congress to end. So that particular meeting with Chief Minister Gehlot is going to be on the lines of bringing some sort of a truce between the pilot camp and the Gehlot camp. And the Congress MLAs are hoping of an early solution of this crisis. We're getting a reporter joining us, Dev Ankur, joining us for the very latest. Dev, live visuals coming in. A lot of drama I can see on the screens right there. The pilot camp supporters also holding protests, raising slogans we can see from the visuals coming in outside the PCC office. They want these big positions. They want a representation in the state cabinet. Looks like they're not going to be budging unless and until they are given that, you know, because Sachin Pilot, remember that particular revolt of his. He felt he was being sidelined by the Chief Minister. He's attending this meeting. What all can be expected in Rajasthan at the moment?
Well, the meeting of the Congress MLAs with the senior functionaries KC Venugopal and Ajay Maken just got over. It got over about 5 minutes ago. It started at around 10:30 in the morning. And the MLAs, we are outside the Congress office right now in Jaipur. The meeting has got over, and the big news that is coming out of Congress is that MLAs have been called for a meeting on the 27th and 28th of July, and there is a possibility that cabinet expansion in Rajasthan can occur in this month itself. That is the big news coming out of Rajasthan, that cabinet expansion can take place in the month of July itself. Several MLAs that we have spoken to have clearly mentioned that the cabinet expansion is on the cards, and that is why KC Venugopal and Ajay Maken were sent to Jaipur to gauge the mood and to speak with the party MLAs as to what do they want. The pilot camp loyalists have been cooling their heels for about a year now, and that is why, to ensure that these internal rumblings did not flare up, it was ensured that सर आज मीटिंग रही है कांग्रेस के विधायकों की यहाँ पर, क्या कुछ निष्कर्ष निकल के आया है, क्या बात रही और क्या माना जा रहा है कि जुलाई के महीने में ही कैबिनेट एक्सपेंशन होगी?
देखिए, अभी कोई तारीख निश्चित जो है मैं कह नहीं सकता, क्योंकि अभी वो बता के गए माकन साहब, लेकिन अंदर सबसे चर्चा की है, सकारात्मक चर्चा जो हमने प्रदेश कांग्रेस कमेटी में जो भी काम किए हैं उनको लेकर के चर्चा हुई है, और बाकी आगे जो है उनका कार्यक्रम जो है वो AICC द्वारा डिक्लेयर होगा।
देर रात तक माकेन और वेणुगोपाल जी की बैठक रही है अशोक गहलोत जी के साथ, उसके बाद आज मीटिंग हुई और माना जा रहा है वापस गहलोत के पास जाएंगे और जो कुछ भी रहेगा वो आला कमान के पास निष्कर्ष लेके जाया जाएगा और वहाँ से फाइनल मोहर लगेगी। सर
देखिए, यहाँ पे तो आज माकन साहब आए थे, हमारे जो संगठन महासचिव हैं वो आए थे, उनका स्वागत कार्यक्रम था जो जयपुर में मौजूद पदाधिकारी और विधायकगण थे उनके द्वारा स्वागत किया गया था। बाकी जो है चर्चाएं वो स्वयं ही बता पाएंगे आपको।
Well, so clearly at this point in time, several leaders have been tight-lipped, but our sources have informed us that the cabinet expansion will be taking place in Rajasthan sooner rather than later, because the Congress High Command does not want things to flare up like it did in Punjab, and that is why Ashok Gehlot has also communicated that whatever the party High Command decides upon will be agreed to Ashok Gehlot and probably to the Sachin pilot camp also.
Yes, but you know, Dev, the question still remains is, in case the pilot camp doesn't get their due, that implosion really does not die off, and how is the truce even going to be possible if they don't adhere to the demands of the Sachin pilot camp? Because in the first place, that was the point of contention between the pilot camp and the Gehlot camp. In fact, we're getting a reaction coming in from Ajay Maken at the moment. Listen in to what he has to say. That meeting has just gotten over and he's giving us a reaction.
हम लोगों ने आज यहाँ पे प्रदेश कांग्रेस कमेटी में जो वरिष्ठ नेता जितने भी यहाँ पे जयपुर में मौजूद थे सब लोगों से बात करी और एक अनौपचारिक चर्चा हम लोगों ने सब लोगों से करी। और मुख्यतः हम लोगों ने सब लोगों से जब चर्चा करी तो ये बात करी कि किस प्रकार से केंद्र सरकार के द्वारा बढ़ाई जा रही महंगाई का असर साधारण जनता के ऊपर पड़ रहा है। और हमारे कांग्रेस के कार्यकर्ताओं ने गत दिनों पेट्रोल पंप्स के ऊपर और साइकिल यात्रा निकाल करके महंगाई के खिलाफ में अपना रोष प्रकट किया। साथ ही साथ में पेगासस का जो जासूसी जिस तरीके से केंद्र सरकार ने, मोदी सरकार ने कराई है, वो भी निंदनीय है। आप देखें कि एक प्रकार से हमारे देश के अंदर देश की जनता महंगाई से त्रस्त है। कोरोना महामारी के दौरान लोगों के काम धंधे बंद हो गए। सरकार लोगों के ऊपर पैसा खर्च करने की जगह जासूसी के ऊपर पैसा खर्च कर रही है।
Slipping into a very short commercial break on that note.